G'day mates, I'm back again with my Paleozoic Frog deck profile. So let's get right into it. Alrighty, I run 3 ulti swap frog. He's your main frog, best guy in the deck. I run ultimate rares because I'm a rarity whore. Obviously he can be special summoned by sending another frog to the grave, and then you can send a frog to the grave from the deck when he's summoned, and of course you can spin him back to your hand if you need to. I run 3 super dupes. Dupes, when sent from the field to the grave, obviously you can add a frog to your hand, and you can't. Your opponent cannot target any other frog on the field while he's on there. And 2 Ronin. Ronin, I only run 2. You don't need more than 2. Ronin's obviously good because you can send any frog from the grave to the banish pile to special summon him. Those are the only monsters I run. These are the only ones you really need in this deck. Alright, for the traps I run 3 of the Olenodes. He's basically MST. 2 Marella, sorry. Marella allows you to send a trap from your deck to the graveyard, so obviously that's exactly what you want to be doing with your Paleozoics. You only need 2 of that. I then run 2 Pikeia. It's basically a pot of greed for Paleozoics. Ditch 1 Paleozoic card to the grave and draw 2. Obviously with that you can then chain from grave any Paleozoics you have. You are unable to chain the card you discarded though. Just bear that in mind. 2 Canadia. He's obviously your Book of Moon. Very good to have him on field as much as possible to flip down your pesky sort of opponent's monsters that you have to deal with. So that's good for anything like Dark Law, Thrilium, any sort of card that can really mess up your deck searches. Legionella, to add back banished cards. So anything you banish off, say, your Ronin, you would then use this and then chain a Paleozoic from grave, and then you've then got more materials in your grave to send off Ronin's effect. 3 Essential Karma Cuts, discard 1 and banish 1 card on the field. Very, very useful card. You want to be seeing that as much as possible. Next is 3 Yatagarasu. Obviously, draw 1. Awesome card, and you can just chain your Paleozoics. Next is 3 Reckless Greed. The draw power in this deck's ridiculous. I had a scenario where I had 3 of these on board. A little bit ridiculous, but it was, what was it? It was like a +8, I think, because I used what is it? It's the +2 Paleozoic. Oh god, I can't remember it. Apologies. 3 Barbecue for protecting your Paleozoics summon themselves, and of course you can chain off Barbecue anyway. I run 2 Dimensional Barrier, not 3, because I found 3 to be a slight bit cloggy, but of course 3 in a trap based deck, it's not a terrible thing, but I've just found with my build 2 to be sufficient. 1 Breakthrough Skill, negating obviously a pesky effect on the field, and then banish this from the grave to target an effect monster, negate the effects, only not in the same turn you send it to the grave. Floodgate and Bottomless, normal traps to trigger off your Paleozoics, handy situation. Floodgate being better than Bottomless, but Bottomless is there just for scenario. Any sort of scenario you need. Threatening Roar for obviously stopping attacks and then chaining the Paleozoics. I might cut this for something else, but at this point in time I'll run that. 1 Storming. I could cut the Threatening Roar for another Storming. I found this to be very useful against heroes, pendulums, really anything in the meta, ABCs and whatnot. Haven't tried using 2. I may try 2 at some point, but running 1 is definitely working at the moment. And then I run 2 Pot. Now, the thing with Pot is, obviously, it's a neg 13, guys. But if you run 3, it's risky business from that point, because you're banishing 10 to use 1. The only scenario you'd want to be using that in is if you got nothing else on field or in your hand. Other than that, that's the main deck. I will grab the extra deck. Sorry, I'm in a very limited space here. Extra deck in this deck, I run 3. Totally awesome. You really need to be running 3 in this deck. In Awesome Heroes you can run 2, but in this you need to be running 3 purely because of how many level 2s you have, and it being a frog based deck. I run 3 Opabina. Now I know some people only run 2, but I found I've gone into at least 2 of these many times, and having that third one is just there for, just as a backup. You can cut that for other material you might need. 2 of the Anomalocaris. Oh god, I'm terrible at pronunciation. Anomalocaris. You should ignore that attempt. Obviously, it takes 3 XC material. However, Opabina allows you to detach 1 if it has a Paleozoic trap card, and then obviously add a trap to hand, and you can activate your Paleozoic traps from hand. This is basically a solution to any pesky problem you might have. You detach 1, send it to grave, and then pop anything on the field. As well as that, if you activate a Paleozoic trap card from in the turn that he's on the field, you can excavate the top card of your deck and then add it to your hand if it's a trap card. So he's an awesome +1 if you can get it right. Gutchy Gutchy for adding power to your toads if you need to get over problem cards. Phoenix because you can attack twice. Goes without saying. Cat Shark because he can double toad to 4400, which is real scary. Downed, I run Downed so you can overlay it. So you can lay it over, say, your Gutchy Gutchy or your Cat Shark if you have to. Gives it a little bit more attack power, less of a target. Utopic Future because it can be really handy for locking down your opponent's field. And Sky Cavalry. I might end up running 2 of him, but he is essential in this deck because obviously he takes no, what is it? He can't be destroyed by battle if he has a material, and basically when you enter the damage step, that's at the end of the damage step, sorry, detach 1 and then send a card on the field to the hand. Now what's really good about this is it's not a target, so you can hit anything you need to. It pretty much goes without saying though. And for the side deck, I run 3 System Down, 1 ulti and 2 commons. Need to work on that. For ABCs only, and I suppose any pesky Dynamis decks you might see around. 2 Magical Spring for your Pendulum Metal Foes matchup. This card has triggered a number of Pendulum Metal Foes players, sorry. Obviously, you target the number of face-up spell cards on their side of the field, and you draw equal to the number that they have, but then you discard equal to the number that you control. So obviously, if this is on the field, you draw 2, discard 1. And if you're running a hero deck, you can discard a mist off that and +1. All round, stops their plays and stops blowing up their scales, so very handy. That second Storming I was talking about, it's sided for now. I'll try it and see how it goes. Purely for your big fields, whatever that might be, but it's purely situational. 2 Anti-Spell, again for Pendulums. This card is a staple in this meta with so many Pendulum-based decks. You need to be running this. 2 of the old meme himself, Gamma Seal. You can run this bastard in any deck you need to, sided, and it gets rid of every problem that you might have. And he's only 2200, so he's very easy to get over, but that's the point of running him. And lastly, 2 Max C for Pendulums and Awesome Heroes, particularly Awesome Heroes because they're special summoning so much in one turn, particularly going into their Barmet Sharks and the Toads. I mean, if they're special summoning Bubble Man to go into the Barmet, I mean, you've got +3 there, right there. So that is the Paleozoic deck profile, guys. My videos will improve. I got a new camera. I'm going to learn how to edit software better, but this is just a start. I hope to sort of make this a regular thing. I'll continue to do deck profiles, hopefully, but I want to start focusing more on pack openings and box openings. I don't expect it to grow huge, but any tips you can provide to increase the quality of these videos, that'd be great. I appreciate any savagery memes coming my way, but until next time, guys, I will catch you.